Gen Z residents of Nepal have overthrown the government and created the world's first Discordocracy. So to those of you old heads wearing diapers saying that Gen Z doesn't do anything except scroll on their phones, have you ever overthrown your country's government due to corruption? Because that's what I'm talking about today. The Nepal riots that have now escalated into this massive movement for change to create a better country. And I think it goes hard as hell that they're using the Straw Hats flag as their symbol. So the riots began back in September because the government in Nepal was just notorious for corruption and mismanaging funds. The Nepo babies were just flexing how much money they had and how rich they were, how well off they were, while all the other residents of the country were living in poverty. I think the average salary is like $2,000 or $3,000 a year in Nepal, equivalent to USD. But there were also other major factors like youth unemployment is super high over there and just an overall lack of economic opportunities for upcoming Nepal citizens. And all of this just kind of came, I gotta sneeze. Oh, the sneeze is edging me. Oh my God. Oh. Anyways, all of that bundled up together and just built up to a tipping point, which was when the Nepal government attempted to ban all social medias because they weren't following their really strange social media law thing that they put into play. It's because of this right here, the Ministry of Information and Communications in Nepal. They manage postal services, telecommunications, broadcasting, and press and information, as well as film development in the country. So they basically control all the entertainment. And since these social media platforms, which included all the big heavy hitters like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit, Snapchat, all those, they didn't register under the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. So Nepal decided they were going to slap them with a block. And overall, the new rules they were implementing that the social medias didn't abide by were just, it was basically trying to silence people. It's been widely criticized as a tool for censorship and pushing opponents who voice their protest online. And the general consensus is that this was an attempt from the government to curb their freedom of expression on these apps. As a matter of fact, there were only 5 social medias that did abide by these rules and register with the government. It was TikTok, whatever the hell Viber is. It sounds like a vibrator app that you use to just like vibrate your butthole. And then 3 other unnamed platforms. Which obviously, I think if a government tries to censor any social media whatsoever, that is a massive red flag and a terrible, terrible thing to do for your citizens, trying to silence them and suppress them and tell them what they can't do. To that extent, at least, feels very Big Brother-esque, very controlling. But like I already said, that was just the boiling point. Everything else that led up to that, like the economic hardships, the corruption, the nepotism, and all that kind of stuff was what escalated it to the point that allowed this social media ban to be the fat kid that broke Santa's lap. And I'm not going to go into depth about all the things that led up to this. I just wanted to give you a broad overview so you... Shit, man. Sorry. So you know what's going on. And I mainly just wanted to focus on the uprising itself, the clips and whatnot going on surrounding it, and then talk about how they used Discord to swear in their first woman prime minister in Nepal. So there was this YouTuber dude, I don't know the guy's name, I just found this clip on Twitter, where he's in Nepal right now, and he just kind of unknowingly started documenting the riot happening and the bringing down of the government, which is ground zero footage here. Everyone seems to be loving him. He's supporting him, he's rocking with them. And it's just, it's interesting to see footage on the ground. Yeah, they burnt down the parliament. That's where the picture, I believe that's the picture of the hard-ass picture of the straw hat flag on the gate that I showed you at the beginning. But yeah, man, I mean, Nepal, I gotta give them kudos. They got the balls to stand up for injustice. I'm sure if this exact scenario happened in America, we wouldn't do shit. I know I wouldn't be out there doing that kind of shit. I'm too lazy for that. I'm too much of a pussy. But the Nepalians, or is that the word for them? I've never actually heard the word for Nepal citizens. Nepalians. They're a different breed, and I respect them. I have nothing but respect for them. But I do want to mention, since this is a riot, it's not all gumdrops, sunshines, and rainbows. There have been some tragedies because of this. There have been 51 total recorded deaths as of me making this video. 21 protesters, 9 prisoners, because I believe a bunch of prisoners escaped, like they freed a bunch of them. 3 public officials have been killed, and then 18 of them were just unknown deaths. And And I'm sure the number is going to rise, or maybe it's more that just haven't been documented, which obviously it's always sad when human lives are lost. And I don't know the in and outs of this whole situation. I'm not from Nepal. I don't really know exactly what's going on. But clearly the citizens seen something wrong with their country, and they decided this was the way they're going to go about it. And here is a gif of Nepal's future being decided on Discord. I guess this is why they upped the limit, or the server limit on Discord recently, so they can host the entire country of Nepal. Youth Against Corruption is the name of the server, and Jesus Christ, it's just a shit ton of people. But this is how they decided who they were going to elect to be their interim official to lead them into a better future. And this was the poll that decided the future of Nepal. You have Sushila Karki, who ended up winning the vote. She is now the interim, not the official prime minister. She's the acting prime minister while they sort everything out, from what I understand. And then you have Harka Sampang, Sagar Dukal, I'm butchering all these names, I know, Random Nepali at 26%. So things had to have been shitty if they're just gonna do a lottery. Like, hey, you, sir, you look like a good candidate. Get in office, help us out. And then Marbur Poon was the least popular of the bunch. And at first I was like, oh, does that mean Discord moderators are going to rule and run the country? But no, sadly, Discord moderators will not rule a country, unfortunately. And now I wonder what the moderation was like in this Discord, because clearly, I mean, probably anybody can join that isn't Nepali. Like, I'm sure they didn't vet every single person and confirm that they actually were in the country. So some of those votes were probably from people that weren't actually in the situation. But regardless, they have a new prime minister. There's her being sworn in and whatnot. Oh, and here's a perfect thing summing up the whole situation. Bunch of teens and early 20 kids plan to start a social media movement against the current regime on social issues and economic inequalities. Government gets wind of it scaling and tries to geo-block social media. People get more pissed off, start protesting. Government can't handle the protest, lifts social media ban, doesn't do anything. People just organize further, burn down parliament buildings, PM houses, beat the shit out of the finance minister in the streets, kill the PM's wife. Kids elect their own new PM on their Discord server, ex-chief of justice of the Supreme Court, who was part of the 1990 revolution that ended the monarchy. Army head acknowledges the validity of the Discord vote and is meeting the new interim PM to discuss elections for new leadership going forward. So they really did rewire the whole country. They got exactly what they wanted. They knew what they wanted, what they needed to do, and they did it. And the fact that they used Discord to do that is astounding to me. When I seen the headline, I thought it was fake. I read it and it said that the new prime minister of Nepal was elected through Discord, and I was like, that's a joke. There's no way. But no, yeah, it's real. It actually happened. And surprisingly, that's the first time I was hearing about it. Was just a random Twitter post. I figured this should be massive news. A government was overthrown. It was upruled. Like, how is this not everywhere? A successful uprising against a seemingly shitty regime, and it worked, and they used Discord. I don't know, that's baffling to me, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. I just kind of want to do a broad stroke over this. I'm not like a political channel. I don't have a dog in the fight either. I just thought it was insane, the situation itself and how it ended up being resolved. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.